Good morning and welcome back to another episode of Flying High Through the Mile High. This is your host, Gabby. Today I have Sed with Sed Safety and Firearms Training. Hi, Sed. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain at all. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fabulous. You know, making the best of every situation. Welcome back to the show. I've been in business, and what services and products do you offer?
So I've been in business. It actually was right when COVID first hit. So it's right when I got back from Puerto Rico for my birthday. That's when I really dived into it, took all these certifications and things like that. So I had the business up and running, I would say right around July of 2020 is when it officially was up and running.
Okay. And what kind of steps did you kind of have to take in the process to get, certified to do this type of work?
Well, the first thing is really just the mindset of it. Like, why are you getting into this?
Mm-hmm.
What makes you want to do this? What makes you think that you have a passion for it or a calling for it? So that was the first thing, and it was just like, is this something that you really can see yourself doing? I mean, are you passionate enough about it to where you can really educate some folks and influence some people? So then once I realized that I was, and that this was something that I love, I mean, the steps to actually becoming a certified instructor is quite easy. I mean, you take a few classes, you got to take online classes and stuff, but if you're in it for the wrong reason, then those classes will mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah, because the classes are just the same thing when I went into personal training. I was like, the classes, you learn things, don't get me wrong, I'm not discrediting them, but if you're not interested in it, you're not going to retain it the same or whatever. So what exactly do you offer? What kind of services and classes do you have?
So I do gun safety courses, honestly. And my courses, one of them is my CCW course, which will certify you for your permit. But I also have a basic pistol course that I teach as well. But it's really gun safety. How to protect yourself is going to come a part of it. Learning how to shoot, that comes a part of it. But it's more to it than just having a gun and knowing how to shoot. It's behaviors. It's your thought process.
The responsibility.
It's the responsibility of carrying that gun, because every action has a consequence. Whether it's a good consequence or a bad one, but it does have one. So, and that's one of the things that I offer is the education piece to it, because a lot of people get guns and we know how to press a trigger. Yeah, we know what happens when the trigger is pressed, but the education behind it and the things that you can do with that gun, that's what's really important, because once you get to thinking about those things, then it eliminates a lot of other issues that we have. But I offer that service. I also offer, I'm an FFL, which is I have a federal firearm license, so I'm an opening, operating gun store. So online you can purchase firearms, or if you're out of state as well, you can purchase firearms. I would just have to send it to another FFL there, so like a gun store or pawn shop, something like that with an FFL. Mm-hmm. So I also offer those services as well.
And then you also do like your Guns N' Roses and like different type of like shooting events, or I haven't been to one of those, so I'm kind of curious how those work or what those are.
Yeah, me and my marketing manager, we sat down, and shout outs to Amber, she's one of the best out there. We sat down and we was just sitting there thinking, like, everybody talks about guns, everybody do this, but what's one cool thing that we can actually do for people? And it's just something to do different on a Friday night instead of going out getting drunk or anything. So instead of it being like a ladies' night out, it's a ladies' shootout. Come get out your frustration or whatever. And every Friday is different, honestly. The first Guns N' Roses, we were actually shooting drones. So we had drones flying around in the range. Of course, we closed the range down. It was only invite only.
Okay.
So we had drones flying around, and we were just saying who can hit the drone.
Wow.
It's a lot harder than a lot of people think.
Oh yeah, you think you can do whatever, and it's not It's not what it seems. That sounds really fun. And so, do people have to bring their own firearm, or do you guys can they rent, or how does that work?
If they have their own firearm, you're more than welcome to bring it, because if it's your firearm, you need to learn how to use that firearm. It's yours.
And what better way?
What better way? Exactly. But if you don't have a firearm, that's no biggie, because I always start off, because a lot of people don't even have guns and don't know where to start with a gun, and then take advice from someone, and I need a 4.5. No, you don't. You don't know what gun you want until you shoot one. You know, you might get that 4.5 and it's the worst gun you've ever had, and then you're stuck with a 4.5. So if you don't have a firearm, don't be discouraged, because I have a ton of them. My mentor has a ton of them. So we will always have something for you to actually shoot. Okay. And then also the exotics. I don't expect everybody to have what we have.
What you guys have to offer.
And that'd be the wow factor, because you get there and you're shooting a Gatling gun. That's one of them guns you just turn the knob.
I was watching that video, showing it to somebody when I was talking about coming to, and they were like, "Is he real?" I was like, "Is he gonna shoot though?" I was like, "Yeah, he's about to shoot it right now."
So I'm saying that's that wow factor as far as with the Guns N' Roses. I mean, I had a young lady that took the course, and she was just really just in I wouldn't say it's like a sad state, but she was just really irritated, you know. Yeah. She left there and was just like, I left it all in the range.
Yeah, so like the thing like that attracted, like that I liked the most about your class is like I came from a not knowing much about guns, like kind of having seen some of the downsides of like gun violence and not being responsible with guns, so kind of being not scared, but more like, oh, do I like, is this something that I should do? You know what I'm saying? Or is this something that once I took your class, I was like, oh, like most people that have these guns don't even have to take that basic course. And I was like, everybody should take this course, Absolutely. You know? But then the difference, like I was expecting kind of like a older, like veteran type guy, not somebody that was fun and like relatable. So for you to then take the events and do something like that, it makes it so people can actually practice and actually feel comfortable, you know, while being responsible. Because I felt like I learned more than I've ever learned from just like asking people that are supposedly gun fanatics like about it, or trying to look it up online or whatever you do, you know. So I felt like you educated me, but I also felt it was relatable. And I feel like I feel like it should be mandated if you're going to own a gun that you should have somebody like you in your life, like that you can ask questions to and learn. And like when you're thinking about getting a gun, like I was thinking about getting a gun, I knew nothing about it, and everybody has get this, do this, and I'm like, well, I haven't even seen, I don't even know what that is. Right. Like, you know, so being able to find somebody that is like can talk to you and break it down for you and also educate you and let you practice, and to have that kind of all in one place is kind of cool, honestly.
That's dope. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that 100%.
Yeah, because I mean, I just think that there is so much, I see why it's such a controversial, you know, I would think getting into business like in this type of industry would kind of be a little bit intimidating at first, because a lot of people are going to be like, no, or like there's laws, everybody has an opinion about this. And I mean, there is a lot of negative things that happen with guns, you know. There's a lot of, even people that were able to buy a gun legally and do all this still do crazy things with them, you know, and it can happen to anybody. So that was the other part that I loved about your class, is it taught the home defense side of it and how to keep your family safe. Because to me, that's the biggest factor about owning a gun that I think is important, is making sure that children and other people, or people that might, you know, have an opportunity, don't have access to that.
Right, absolutely. And that's the purpose of the course, is to open up your eyes and your mind set up thinking. Because a lot of people just think, I got a gun, or it's my property, I'm going to do this and do that. And that's like the dumbest way to think of a situation. Like anything could have been going on, and you shoot first, ask question later, just because it's legal doesn't mean that mentally it ain't gonna bother you for the rest of your life. You know, those are the type of situations and that's why I teach conflict avoidance. You know, just avoid it if you can at all costs.
Because even seeing somebody get shot, even being in close vicinity when that happens, it's traumatizing to people. You know. And, you know, would you say, did any of that kind of play any role into why you had a passion? Like, what got you, like, having a passion for guns and, you know, educating and kind of sharing your knowledge with other people?
Honestly, it's really hard to explain, honestly. Because, I mean, if you take a basketball player, for instance, his passion is basketball. You ask him where did it come from, I'm sure he can't explain it. He just woke up one day and was in love with basketball.
That's how you know it really is your calling.
That's when you know it's your calling. And it was just something about guns, building them, things like that. It was just always exciting to me. So it's like a guy working on a car. He finally get that fixer-upper that he's been wanting, that old school, you know what I'm saying, that trophy car, and he finally gets it up and running and stuff. And that's his piece. That's, you know.
So who was so it goes far back since childhood? Like, who was the first person that kind of put a gun in your hand or just like taught you, like, got you interested?
Definitely back in the day when I was in Oklahoma. Back in the day, I was a kid. I mean, I probably shouldn't even have had a gun in my hand.
Yep.
So I'm not gonna names, you know, because
of course.
I have to share this.
No, but it's back. It's back.
Saying? My aunt hearing him like, he did what? You know, like. No.
Oh, exactly.
So, but no, it started years ago, and it wasn't on no crazy, you know what I'm saying, street stuff, because you know everybody's been in the streets. This was more so country. Rifles in the field type.
That's how it was for me too. In the mountains,
nobody can really get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So that's literally where it came from.
Okay, and you mentioned Oklahoma. Is that where you're from?
Oh yeah.
Oklahoma.
That's the stomping ground.
Oklahoma, the stomping grounds. And what would you say is is something that if I was gonna go to Oklahoma, like what is there in Oklahoma? Like, tell me just a little bit from your perspective.
Besides, I would say don't go spring, because the only thing you're gonna run into is tornadoes.
Yep.
So just leave spring.
That much I've heard.
You know. But I mean, it's really me. I travel too, but something that's just monument for me in Oklahoma, and it may not be for everybody else, is Whataburger. It's one of the originals. You know?
Oh, okay.
So it ain't, and I haven't went to the one in Colorado Springs. I know everybody's gonna probably jump in and be like, "Oh, there's one in Colorado Springs. We can go there."
I don't care. It's not original. I like the Pioneers. You know I like that.
That's that, and then Brahms. Brahms is like a ice cream / grocery store.
Okay.
They got a fire chicken salad, and that's where the original cherry limeade came from. That was before Sonic.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
So yeah, Brahms. That's one of. Honestly, I would say every time we go back to Oklahoma, before we even get to our destination, I mean, we'll stop and get gas if we just hit hometown, but Brahms is the very first stop.
Ooh, I like that.
And then Whataburger is probably the next.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Hell yeah, thanks for that. And the other thing that I forgot to mention earlier is, don't you have like a brand, Respect the Shooter?
Absolutely.
Can you tell me a little bit more about like what?
So Respect the Shooter, again, me and my account manager, like I said, or my marketing manager, I should say. She's fucking brilliant. So we sat down and again, we were just sitting there thinking, and she was just like, you have so much passion for this. You have, you know what I'm saying, you built a legacy in less than a year, and we have to respect that.
That's tight.
And it was like, wow. And then she literally called me and she was just like, respect the shooter. So we sat down and we thought, and we was like, so what exactly would that mean to us? And it's really just respecting the art, respecting it to do it the right way, responsible. You have to have that type of level of respect. It's like a basketball player, and you get out there and you BSing, and this is his livelihood, this is his world, this is all he knows. He's going to tell you to respect the game of basketball. The same way with this shooter. You got to respect the shooter at all costs. And I mean, and it goes negative or good. I mean, all publicity is good.
People can take it however they want to.
And I tell it just like this. I said, even if you're looking at it in a negative way, say you talking about respect the shooter. What if this hothead is out here doing stupid stuff and you talking about respect him? well, you should have at least enough respect to save your life.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, if a man tells you, I ain't fighting, I'm on this dumb street stuff, respect that.
Mm-hmm.
Respect the fact that he's telling you that, look, I'm on that stupid shit. And then if you respect it, you're going to leave that man alone. It ain't about being hard. I just don't want to get myself involved in that type of shit. So I'm going to respect his opinion on things like that. Same way with a professional marksman. I'm going to respect him because he's doing this professionally. It's just a simple respect. And that's what it's really getting back to. It's respecting.
And just kind of bringing that I just like the sound of it, because I just feel like today's day and age, we're just so, it's not even about people being sensitive or not being sensitive. It's about people having the audacity to even start things that like would make people question if it's like, you know, so just have respect for what you're doing, because there isn't anybody else really doing exactly what you're doing out here, you know? So you are kind of paving the way for just it to feel more normal. Like, I know some people, if they are not about guns and you even bring it up, they want to tell you about all the negative things right away, and just kind of giving people more of a, you know, we're out here, you know what I'm saying? Like, respect it, we're being safe, you know? We're doing this, so I love, now that you explained it, I like it even more. Everyone I've showed it to, they're like, I like it, but then I like show them the videos and I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh my gosh, I want to go. I'm like,
definitely.
So yeah, it's definitely different. So tell me a little bit more about this pop-up shop that you're hosting.
Absolutely. So April 9th, this coming up here in about a week and a half or so. So in Denver, let me start there first. In Denver, there's the very first gun range ever been open. You know, Denver doesn't like guns too much. You know, that's why the state of Colorado has an open carry, but you can't open carry in Denver. Denver just doesn't. They don't like guns. You know, so we officially, one of my business partners actually officially got the gun range open in Denver. You know, Shooting Doors Denver. You know, he's a real good friend of ours and everything. So, you know, when we got that open, it was just like, how do we get people to know that now that there's a gun range in Denver? And I'm like, man, Denver loves pop-ups.
Yeah, they do.
So, and that's where the idea came about. But not only that, it's going to be a special pop-up. It ain't just your ordinary pop-up. I mean, we're going to have food. We're going to have ice cream for the kids. A DJ that's going to be there as well. But not only that, the exotic guns on the inside. Like, it ain't just going to be come shop. No, shop and shoot. Come inside and actually shoot these guns the right way. We'll have a YouTube celebrity, which is Life with OB. If you guys get a chance, go follow him on YouTube. Life with OB. He's a real good guy. I mean, one of my business partners as well. And then we'll also be with the Reverend Leon Kelly. He's a reverend. He's in the ministry. And he has a ton of, every gun that you can think of. Rev, have you seen this? He'll go in this house and come back. Are you talking about this gun? Hey, you got that? Rev, have you ever seen a PS90 or P90? You come back out with both of them. You talking about one of these? Like, man, where are you getting these guns from? And, you know, and everybody used to always ask him too, like, you know, you're a pastor. You preach the word. You don't have faith. And it ain't that he doesn't have faith. You got to think, in the Bible, Abraham, Joseph, all of them, they had their rod and their staff.
I mean, all of these things are tools in life.
Absolutely.
So when people argue any of that, I just let them be where they're at, because you ain't gonna stray what I believe. But I believe we were given these tools. Yeah. So
and that's where, you know, the pop-up is going to be exciting. I'm excited. We're gonna have a bunch of vendors there, self-defense tools, bulletproof vests, all the way up to I believe he has a level 4. So level 3 would probably be all you would need. You probably won't need a level 4, but he has all that. So it's going to be a bunch of fun. In my opinion, I'm a kid in the candy store when it comes to things like that.
I have never heard of anything like this, so I'm excited to be a part of it, because I have been talking, I'm like, a podcast, like, you know, I have my personal training business, so I have something tangible to sell, but like these podcasts, like, what better place to get your name out to a bunch of people that actually like to sometimes when you're on the internet, you're just putting out there. You don't know who's seeing it. You don't know whatever. But when people go to pop-ups, they're interested in local businesses. They're interested. So I'm like, let's start taking the podcast to these pop-up shops. So when we reached out, I was like, this is perfect because it's different. I'm really into, being different, not doing the same that everybody else is doing. I come to all the pop-up shops. I don't mind. But just making it fun too, because like even just taking your kids out to do something fun or all these things, there's always all these lines and all, so it's more exclusive, but it's a way to network and also have fun and raise awareness for your brand and and that shoot indoors. I mean, I had so much fun there. There was I can't even, I'm still thinking about the class. So highly recommended. 10 out of 10 recommend.
I appreciate that.
So unless you have anything else, I think we're good to wrap it up. Thank you all for listening. You can contact and find SED all over the web at SED Safety. Come check out the Gift of Gab and SED Safety at the Shop and Shoot pop-up on April 9th, 2-day. Stay safe and stay fly.